Hello. Right, so in this video, which follows on directly from the collection one you've just seen, we're going to have a quick look over the Focus and do a few jobs that we can do while the sun's out. I don't think I can clean it today, maybe later. As I say, if you've just watched the collection video, the first job I need to do is get that rear window secure. If you remember seeing, when I picked the car up, I found a piece of cardboard holding the window up. Basically, it looks like either a cable's broke or it's come off the runners. It's rear passenger side, so it's not exactly important. So I'll show you that now. I'm going to get the card off and see what we can bodge. Right, so I have obviously just got changed. Like I said, we'll clean this up later. The sun is going to come round here in a minute. It's going to be murder this afternoon. It's about 11:30 in the morning now. I left this morning at 5:30 to go to Slough to pick this car up. 122 miles, spin it round, come back, and still got the most of Saturday to get on with it. So yeah, first thing is, when the guy sent me a walk round video before I bought the car, I noticed this here and I thought, well, I think Heather noticed it actually, and she said, "What's that for?" I said, "Oh, I bet the motor regulator's gone." And indeed, I don't know if the motor regulator's gone, but certainly a cable's gone or something. There's nothing holding that up. Now obviously that is not safe, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that card off. If a cable is broken or something, I'm not going to lie, I'm not investing money into this car other than service items and safety items. I will just cut a block of wood and force that all the way up so it will not open, and isolate the switch. That is it. Why buy a regulator? There's never going to be anybody sitting in the back. I'm never going to need that window open. If it was the passenger side or the driver's side front, then yeah. The aircon in this works amazingly, so I won't really need the windows open. Let me show you in the boot as well. Found some fun and games in there. Wouldn't be me buying a cheap car without it, would it? But it's nothing bad, nothing bad. Okay, so I've just lifted the boot mat to have a nosy, see if there was a spare really. And yeah, I think this must come with a free goldfish. Obviously somewhere it rains in. Love it. So I'll have to have a look at the seals, go on a forum page or something and see what the common leakage in for these is. Anyway, not here to do this. I am going to have a look at that window as a little add-on to this. I'd imagine I've just unwrapped the towing hitch that was wrapped in some paper, obviously stop it rattling. I'm imagining this has been raining in for a while. The jack's all rusty, and someone's done the typical British Leyland repair, which is drilled 2 holes in the bungs to let the water out. Fantastic. So it's already part BL really, isn't it? Right, I'm obviously not going to, I'm doing this on my phone as well, I haven't got the proper camera out. I'm obviously not going to do a detailed thing on this. If I remember rightly with these, there are random screws hidden everywhere, and then I think you flip this off and there's a big one in there. I'll find out, I'll get it off, and then we'll show you after that what's going on. So for reference, I don't think anybody else is ever going to do this, are they? But if you want to take the door card off, this does prise off. There are random screws around, you can see visibly. There's one hidden under a little plastic cover there. You flip the cover off, you flip this out, you can see somebody's damaged it with a screwdriver before. I think somebody's obviously been in here before, to be honest. And it should come off after that. Right, so I don't think anybody has been in here before. I think maybe somebody's tried to have a go and then give up. You literally just, as I say, undo them screws and then push it up like that over that lip, disconnect the central locking and the speakers, I suppose, as well, and we'll have to try and get in here and see what's going on. Right, so it's a hot enough day that I've gone over it with a standing knife and just slice the silicone, and it should just push back on. I've got access in here now, taken this sound baffler, whatever you want to call it, and you can clearly see It's been gone a while. There's immense amounts of cardboard in the door, and if you can see down there, the cable is just hanging. So I don't know whether it's come off a runner or whether it's broken. We'll have an investigate. Right, having a little investigate. I can't really see without taking the whole of this motor out. I think it's seized because I'm getting nothing to this. And like I say, I'm not really bothered if it works or not. I know that sounds really bodgy, but it's not critical. So I think what I'm going to do, I've marked this here. If I drill a little hole there, that is where the channel runs up and down. I can just put a screw through that and it will sit on the bottom of that plastic there and stop that window drop, because it'll drill through that runner. Call me a dog, I don't care. It is really a work hack car, you've got to remember that. It is not a restoration product. There we go, super bodge. Lee is gonna love me. But yeah, literally drilled a hole through. And you can probably see straight into the channel there, and now the window can't drop, and no pounds and no pence. Hate me in the comments, I don't care. Yeah, fixed. So then, as you can see, because of the hot weather and peeling that, there's no rips in that. It's all back on properly, and what's more, the window is secure. So if you ever buy Ford Focus FM 52 SSJ and wonder why your rear window doesn't work, and you find this on the internet, it was my fault. Well, it wasn't. It was his fault. Mr. Costa Coffee and his cardboard collection. Yeah. Right, door card's all back on. Best just check it locks, hadn't we? Although I've not done anything to make it not lock. Right, opens and shuts, locks, job's a good one. Right, so as we said, this car was actually registered. It's still on its original dealer plates. This garage still exists. It's about 20 miles from me, strangely. So it's got an FM plate, which is a Leicestershire plate. But as soon as it was registered, it went to Anglesey. I've no idea how someone can buy a car in Leicestershire and take it straight to Anglesey, but nevertheless it's still on its original plates, front and rear, which I love. It's got a Welsh sticker on it. It had one on in the inside as well. I'm going to get that off, not because I don't like the Welsh, because I do, but it's all faded. Let me get that off. I'm going to have a go at this. I hope the lacquer doesn't come off here. It's just the sticky off the back of the thing. That should take some getting off, shouldn't it? I'll get that off with some thinners. Bye bye Wales. Yeah, so I'll have a look at a few other bits now and see what I can do. Okay, another little thing that I can fix instantly. This wiper arm, you can see is, I think it's knackered, to be honest. It's very, very dodgy here. But what's happening is this is going way over the screen. You can see that's bent there, to be honest. This could prove a dodgy idea, but what I'm going to do is try and take that off and drop it down some. I may have to get another arm for this. Right, so just lifting that, you can see that this, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, I just think that's bent. Could be because it's going over the A-pillar and it's jarring it. I'm going to try and get this off and drop it. Trouble is, these notoriously stick on and I haven't got a puller that small. So we'll see what we can do first without breaking it. That would be disastrous. Right, so I've got the nut off. Annoyingly, I've got no penetrating fluid anywhere. So what I've done, I've got the thinnest oil I can find, which is transmission fluid, believe it or not. I'm going to let that soak and give it a little tap. If I find any resistance at all, I'm going to stop and ask one of the big boys to help me, because I don't want to break it. At the minute, obviously the wipers work. The last thing I want to do is bust that stud off. So I'm going to do something else while we're waiting for that to soak in. Okay, so this is seized on. I'm not going to try and break it. What I've noticed, I've straightened this by the way, what I've noticed is I don't think that's actually out of line. I think the shaft is worn. If you look at how that accentuates there, that's allowing the wiper, it would park right down there if it wasn't worn, but obviously the spring's pulling on it and throwing it up, so it probably just needs a new arm. I'm just wondering if I could sleeve that somehow to pull it down, or whether I just put up with it. Okay, so what I've done, I've put it back together. I've got the thing in and I've crimped it as tight as I can. Basically, it's wear on this pin and this arm is deformed from it throwing across that far. It does need a new arm. So there's nothing I can do about that. That is probably eventually going to split and fall off, I would imagine. I've got to sort that. You can tell it's accentuated wear, because if you look at that, even with that in, we've got movement on that. Not as bad as it was, but if you look at the other side, it's solid. So that says to me, you can even see this pin is not sticking out, it's flush. This is as if someone's put another pin in, maybe. I don't know. But the metal is starting to tear there. So I don't really want to do a lot with it. I suppose if I wanted to faff, I could maybe drill that out and put a bolt in it. But I imagine there's going to be plenty of these in the scrapyard to pick a few bits off when I get chance. So I'm going to file that under pending work to be done and crack on. Oh yeah, can anybody tell me what this is? It would have been stuck on the windscreen, I guess, at one time. Now the car's come from Wales. I'm wondering if it's for some, do you have to pay to cross the bridge in Wales? Was it a toll thing or something? I don't know. I'll have to look at where the wire goes and try and cut it off, but for now I'll just tuck it there. Wonder what it is. Right, we have pulled the car into the shade as much as we can. I'm going to have a go at washing it. I've just rinsed it off. I'm going to do a bit of snow foam and see what we can do with it. It's a bit too hot to do this really, but there you go, we'll have a go. Right, so we've had a good couple of hours cleaning and just touching up the odd scratch. It's never going to be perfect, and I'm not expecting it to be. As you can see, I've just touched the corner up really roughly where all that paint was scuffed and missing. Looks okay from a distance. It's as good as it's going to get. I'm not spending money on it. I took the other mud flap off that was missing and generally just cleaned it, waxed it, touched up a few bits. I think it's looking okay. Very happy with what I've got there for the money, and obviously we've added a channel sticker, cleaned all the inside, put some mats in. So yeah, join me on another video. I'll go for a drive about in it and film some more exterior stuff tomorrow, but that's it for this one. Bit of repairing, bit of fettling, and an aeroplane. So yeah, thanks for watching.